Nick Woltemade is a serious baller. He's a serious baller. Big up, peeps. Big up, peeps, man. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are, of course, doing well. Today we're talking about Woltemade, man. This guy, he's another one. He is another one. He's in that Ekatike realm. If you guys watched my previous video talking about I was wrong about Hugo Ekatike, in terms of the impact he was going to have, coming to Liverpool and etc. etc. But you see, Nick Woltemade, he's one where I'm like, rah. I didn't again watched a few games, Stuttgart, then during the summer when everyone was talking about him, especially when there was communications between, him. Bayern Munich, I thought, okay, he's going to go there. He was having a good season with Stuttgart as well. The Germany under 21s getting all the way to the final and all of these other various different things. I thought, okay, maybe this is a decent player. I've seen the highlights and all of that stuff. I guess with the odd games that I did see throughout last season, I also thought, okay, yeah, he's a decent player. Do you know what I mean? I just didn't think Bayern Munich would have been the best move purely because you've got the top three striker in world football. You know what I mean? At the football club, it's going to be pretty difficult for someone who's still developing, still doing his thing, still needs to just get acclimatized, to just football and everything else that's kind of surrounding that. Would Bayern Munich really be the best move, for him right now in his career? Obviously, he didn't make that move. We know with the Isak saga, it was just a case of just waiting. And I'll be honest, he's another one who surprised me, man. He is a baller. And when I say baller, I'm not just listen as a football player and everything like that. I think he's really good. He's someone who he can hold up play really, really well. He has got brilliant feet for someone so tall. I believe he is the tallest striker in the Premier League. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I'd have to double check. But either way, he's definitely good on the ball. Off the ball, he makes those neat runs. He's I don't want to say he's deceptively quick, but I don't want to say he's slow at the same time either. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem like he's slow or fast. He just seems like he's literally, I am the pace I am, and it's enough for me to do whatever it is I need to do. Get me in and around goal, I'm good to go. I can, quick feet, close control, should I say, sorry. Good in the box, headers, he's a threat, all of that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, he's definitely a player who's kind of surprised me this season. And I think, listen, that's testament to Newcastle. That's brilliant for Newcastle, getting in a striker like that, especially after losing, someone like Alexander Isak. You can see, he's been scoring in his last few games as well for both club and for country. I don't know, I've said this before and I asked this question before about, the kind of strikers that we are starting to see making noise at this current moment in time. So, like I said, you've got the Alexander Isaks, you've got the Hugo Ekatikes, obviously now you've got Nick Woltemade, you've got Benjamin Sesko. They're in that kind of, I don't know how to kind of explain it, but big, tall, gangly kind of strikers, right? But they are excellent on the ball. And I think that's kind of where we're heading now when we are talking about, strikers in this modern kind of era. And especially when you're looking at the statistics and things like that behind, Nick Woltemade. Again, this is for the ones who want to take a deeper look, should I say. And guys, make sure you check out my video I did on Woltemade in terms of his style of play and his ability. But you can see, as a striker, I mean, he makes 1.13 tackles per 90 minutes. He's winning 0.75 per 90 minutes. He is someone who can press when he needs to. He is someone who, from what I've seen anyway, he seems quite intelligent. He seems like he can kind of read the game. And I'm talking from a defensive standpoint anyway. He does look like someone who can read the game really, really well. When you're looking at the other statistics, again, talking about someone who's on the ball, talking about someone who can bring others into play, talking about a player who isn't just static up front. And I think especially for Newcastle, the thing is, that's almost like an added bonus because you've got players like your, Jacob Murphy's, you've got obviously got Alanga who's there now, you've got Harvey Barnes, you've got Anthony Gordon, you've got players who will facilitate the striker. They are there primarily for the striker. They are there to make sure that the striker can eat, and then of course they will feed off of whatever it is the striker can't obviously eat. So it's their system, the way that it's kind of built up by Eddie Howe. It's very, very smart because, and listen, I think it might have even been Jerry. It might have even have been the gaffer, but he did speak about, Newcastle losing Alexander Isak, one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Of course, it's going to be, well, we thought there was going to be a somewhat drop off, so to speak, in terms of their attacking output, in terms of their attacking threat, especially getting in a striker who hasn't been in this league before. Again, he's still quite young. He still hasn't really, been playing top level football for a very, very long time. Of course, a couple of seasons here at Stuttgart, fair enough, but when we're talking about a player who, can they fill the mantle of a team who are aspiring to be more than just Champions League contenders? They're aspiring to be that kind of football club, and they've just lost one of the best strikers in world football. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure, but he doesn't even seem like he's phased whatsoever. I'll be so honest with you. So definitely a very, very good player. You can see with his shooting ability. I mean, he's got goals, he's got assists, he's got the link up play. He's kind of got everything in his locker. Honestly, he is a top, 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 top player. I implore anybody to go and watch highlights of him, this season, because I think you will not be disappointed. So definitely a baller, definitely someone who, again, he's kind of, exceeded my expectations, of him. I didn't really know how to take him. That was my thing. And like I said, like I asked, in terms of you guys before, about the kind of strikers that we are seeing, in, like I said, in the Premier League mostly, but it does seem like even Victor Osimhen, would probably fit that kind of mold. Maybe obviously a little bit shorter than Woltemade, of course, but those kind of strikers, I just think like they're just becoming the most popular ones for some weird reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because now you're starting to see a lot more teams going a bit more direct with it. So when you do have a striker like that, someone who can run the channels if they need to run the channels, can hold up play, can, is comfortable in possession. When you've got those kind of players, it can help with those kind of, tactics, because it can get you out. And I'm not saying that teams are just lumping it long in terms of that's their overall style of play. No, a lot of teams are playing out, but they do have that kind of secondary option of being able to do that because of the striker that you have, but also the primary option of, we want to kind of play out, through the back and etc., etc. Having a striker who's then, of course, comfortable in possession. Again, it works both ways. So I think that's maybe where we're heading now. That is maybe where we are heading. Heck, we're seeing Harry Kane dropping into the defensive midfield positions. You know what I mean? So they want strikers who can do kind of everything. They want strikers who can be involved in every aspect of the game, whether it be from a defensive standpoint, from an attacking standpoint. They really do want that. So listen, as I say, Woltemade, he's fitting that bill at this current moment in time. He is a player that I think can go on and really have a good career at Newcastle. What happens after that, who knows? But at this current moment in time, I would say by the time he's done, I think he'll stay, depending on what Newcastle do, of course, obviously context. But let's just say Newcastle can keep getting in the Champions League for the next couple of seasons, right? I think, he will stay for the next 3 seasons. And he's gonna have that. He's going to have that kind of trajectory, almost a bit like in Isak, where you're seeing that he's a player who can kind of do everything. And listen, players who can do everything, especially, put the ball in the back of the net, which is, in my opinion, the hardest thing to do in football. They are in hot demand. They are in hot demand. So don't be surprised, Newcastle fans, if in a few years' time we are having another saga involving one of your players. Listen, that will just be a testament to Eddie Howe. That'll be a testament to the team, and it'll be a testament to the player. So I would see that as a compliment. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section in regards to Nick Woltemade. How good do you really think he is? And is he a serious baller? I'll catch you guys real soon. Peace.